Are watching Diversity in Action with Eddie Reyes on IndemitsLive.com.
Hi, my name is Destiny Hall, and I attend Guerra High School. Go Wildcats! Thank you for joining us this morning. It is surely my pleasure to introduce Diversity in Action with Eddie Reyes. Due to the high demand by its huge audience, Diversity in Action with Eddie Reyes, an award-winning CNN talk radio program, has grown to an extent that it has naturally progressed to internet TV and radio, the future of media production. That's why the program partnered with IndemitsLive.com. Diversity in Action with Eddie Reyes has already been recognized and received numerous awards for its unique approach for disseminating critical and essential business information and for bridging commerce and culture. The program has acquired a reputation for delivering timely, accurate, current, and meaningful data. Thus, the program has a proven history for being reliable and consequently has become a trustworthy resource for the business community since 2005. If your friends missed today's program, please let them know that it will rebroadcast every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. and every Thursday morning at 11 o'clock a.m., both Central Standard Time. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce our host, Mr. Eddie Reyes, and his new co-host, Ms. Rebecca Hicks and Ms. Raquel Olivier.
Good morning and welcome to Diversity in Action with Eddie Reyes. I am so glad you took some time out today to join us. Thank you for allowing us to come into your home today, whether it's your home office or you're sitting in the living room or even if you're in your office. Get you a fresh cup of coffee, get ready, get pencil down, get paper down because we're going to give you a lot of information. As we typically do. We've had some great shows in the past. We obviously have another great one today. But first of all, I do want to thank you. Second, I'd like to introduce my co-hosts who have been with me. I'm going to have to give them a medal, maybe a Purple Heart, for enduring and putting up with myself. I'm sure I've been a challenge, but fortunately, I'm surrounded by very accomplished two young ladies that are all heart. And we're going to start with Ms. Raquel Olivier. Good morning, Raquel.
Well, good morning, Eddie, Rebecca, and John. I'm happy to be here. My name is Raquel Olivier. I'm president of Olivier, Inc. We are a consulting firm that supports program management, construction management, and or design teams. We're looking forward to today's show because we're honoring our veterans and just excited about it. The weather is good. And
yes, ma'am.
Happy to be here.
Yes. Ms. Hicks.
I'm happy to be here, and my favorite part of that introduction was young ladies. I like it. But I am the president and owner of Hicks Law Group. We're a boutique law firm focusing our practice largely in the construction industry. And I'm also happy to be here. I've got numerous family members that are veterans, and we're going to honor our veterans today.
Yay. Thank you, ladies. And as many of you know, I've been out in the community for a long time. I've made a tremendous amount of great friends and colleagues. Thank you all for watching today. We'll have some shout outs later at the end of the program. There are some people I would like to recognize, as I'm sure all of us do. And we get to do that. It's our show. It's a lot of fun. And as usual, Diversity in Action for you that are viewing for the first time. We are about disseminating information. If you're thinking of starting a business or if you own a business. And then more specifically, the enhancements that are out there in the community that you can elevate your business if you're a minority, if you're a veteran, or if you're a woman-owned business, and this whole array of different types of certifications and the confusion that's in there, or which franchises are friendly to minority or women, which banks are friendly to minority women. We address all those kinds of things and bring them to you so to help you, guide you, give you a window into what potentially can help you. You don't have to go to 10 different websites to find that information. You find all that out right here on Diversity in Action with Eddie Reyes every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock on IndemitsLive.com. Now, without much further ado, I've got a dear friend. It's a pleasure and I mean that with all my heart. And it's an honor to have him as our guest speaker. Known this man and his good work. More than that, just knowing his good work that he has accomplished in the community. Mr. John Guerra Jr., who has a very distinguished professional career, but equally important, he is also a veteran. So, John, first of all, welcome and thank you for being on the show this morning.
No, it's my honor. It's good to meet all three of you. Eddie, anything I can do for you, I actually look to you as kind of the role model for veterans and what's going on. So, my pleasure. Thank you for having me, all three of you this morning.
Thank you. You're very kind. Tell us a little bit, first, let's start out with the very beginning when we did have dark hair and we could run faster and jump higher. And we were actually...
Why do you keep saying we?
And yes, I know. I can see all three of them. And so, tell us about your time in the service. What branch of service? When did you serve? What years?
Thank you, I will. And Eddie had asked me, specifically since it's Veterans Weekend, Veterans Day, what part did the military experience play in my life? And let me set up backdrop so I think you'll understand. I was in the Army, I was a grunt, okay? So I'm very proud of it. The year I went in was not a great year. I had graduated from high school, and then a month later my father was killed in an accident. And a couple of months later my best friend was killed in a chopper training. It was in the 60s. And a couple of months later my cousin, the only cousin I had my age, was killed by a sniper. So I was a very angry young teenage boy, and spent months kind of manifesting that anger as one is like to do. Fortunately for me, my family, my mother, my father, the education system had instilled in me enough of a core of character to understand that if I didn't do something, I would probably end up dead or in the joint. So that December, two buddies and I decided, since it was late 60s, 66, 67, that it would probably be wise to go into the military. So I volunteered for the Army. And my first 72 hours in the service, I'm not proud, but again, to set the backdrop, I spent at attention outside in the rain in Fort Polk, Louisiana, because when they'd ask me to do something, and you don't remember what boot camp was, and they tear it up, I just get mad. And so I just throw it, and he'd send me outside. And I figured out after, I was a little slow apparently, that if they own the game, they're going to win. And I'm just going to stay outside. Going into the military, I did very well in boot camp. Calmed me down, if you will. It directed my energy. It gave me a sense of greater purpose. It taught me camaraderie. It taught me that, a lot of people lose family, friends, brethren, as we did. And so I actually credit probably 2 or 3 milestones in my life that if they had not occurred, there's no doubt in my mind I wouldn't be where I am today. And the military is one of them. Not to say, oh, gee, poor me, but essentially I think a lot of our cohorts and brothers and sisters still do that. They go into the military to look for direction, and it gave me great direction. And so, not that basic boot camp is fun, but it was, I got to do everything I wanted to do, shoot, fight, but I wasn't in trouble for doing it. So it was a good experience. In a couple of years that I was in the service, in the military, and the Army, made some great friends. I won't say that the skills necessarily put me into the work environment, right? But they did give me the patience to come out. And when I came out, the next milestone that occurred was I met a gentleman named J.J. Gonzalez, who was running at that time in Corpus Christi something called mental health and mental retardation. And it was actually called Corpus Christi. It was Coastal Bend Opportunity Center. I thought it was a place where you could get a loan